Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all good. I'm Leah for those of you who are new. So today I've teamed up with James Laurence and a fellow property developer called Victoria, who you'll meet in a second, to show you this amazing commercial to residential conversion. So what we have today used to be an old office and it's now been converted into one townhouse, one penthouse and 3 apartments. It is incredible inside, so I can't wait to show you guys. So these properties are actually all for sale, so I'll leave links in the description below so you can check them out. Let's have a look inside. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are
Good,
you?
yeah, really good, thank you.
Good.
So guys, this is Victoria and you are the developer of these amazing properties.
I am. This is a grade 2 listed building. What we've done is we have developed it from a commercial building. It was a criminal law office. So if you'd seen it before, it had bars all here, bars all the way up the stairs, and you had your entrance into the actual reception area in there, which was all panelled, and very sort of traditional.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've worked to create a nice, sort of clean, fresh, sort of the idea being that you walk in and it sort of looks like a luxury sort of Georgian home as your actual entrance hallway before you get into the gorgeousness of your own apartment.
Yes, I love it. Let's go and see the first apartment.
So this is our 3-bedroom. The biggest apartment that we've got is over 1,800 square foot. Comes straight into this absolutely gorgeous, huge living room, sitting room, dining room, kitchen area. And as you can see, you've got these huge, lovely, lovely high ceilings and this lovely area here, which is a sort of sitting, dining room, kitchen area. Through the door over there, you've also got a huge utility room. So if you're big into entertaining, this is the one. So as somebody said when we were doing a viewing the other day, they said, oh, well, you could have all your staff in there. I said, well, yes, you could. It's a 3-bed, 3-bathroom apartment. So perfect for sort of a family or, 3 professionals that are looking to share, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We always try to mimic the same amount of bathrooms as we have bedrooms. Because I don't know about you, I don't like sharing a bathroom.
No, me neither.
All of the apartments have been designed and the colour schemes have been done by interior designers.
Right.
So they came up with a scheme where they pick the kitchen for us, they pick the wall colours, they pick the light fittings, they spec the radiators, the floors, the carpets, everything that you can think of, so that the whole scheme comes together
so
as
it's all
one.
like one thing. It's not just random bits and bobs here and there. It's kind of just one.
Totally. We're always looking not to just create a box.
Yeah.
So we want to create something that's individual. Every single apartment is completely different. There are some similarities obviously, but we don't just put together boxes in the city. So we try to really look at the building, the heritage of the building, and try to really sympathetically develop that in the best way for the people who are here. So, what you get is you get a really high quality, high-end product for young professionals who want to live really close to the city centre, but also perhaps for people like parents who, got children who've moved away from home and they want to downsize, but they don't want to live in somewhere small or somewhere blank and boring.
And tell us more about the windows as well, because I know it's a grade 2 listed building.
Yeah, so because it's grade 2 listed, it brings with it a different set of challenges, shall we say. Timing being one of them. Everything takes a lot longer because it's listed, and it costs more because you don't just have to get planning permission, you have to get special permission as well for a listed building. So we weren't able to make any changes to any of the windows, but actually they are stunning windows.
They are.
So you've got your really, really lovely big openings. As you can see, you've got really, really lovely, great deep windowsills, which I think shows you the thickness of the walls, the quality of the actual building itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but we've been here a little bit this morning looking around. There's no noise transference between the apartments at all, is there? So there's a huge amount of soundproofing gone in, but the actual building itself is so old, not that you'd know, but it's really, it does really well on that one.
Yeah, and how old is the building?
It was 18 something, so it's grade 2 listed Georgian, and it was originally a factory because we're in the gun quarter, traditional manufacturing area of goods in Birmingham. So they made guns, obviously, bicycles and umbrellas, and that was what it was originally. And then in the most recent time, it has been a criminal law office.
Right, okay.
So it is a commercial development into residential.
Yeah, fab.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's just so like luxury and high end. You can just tell like all of the little details and the thoughts that have gone into it. So yeah, it's like amazing.
Oh, thank you, Leah. That's really kind.
And tell us more about this kitchen because it is literally amazing. So yeah, give us
It is, isn't it?
details.
I have proper kitchen envy. The interior designers, because it's such a big space and because you've got such high ceilings, you've got ceilings that are nearly 3 meters high.
Yeah.
What they wanted to do was they really wanted to create a kitchen that looked like a freestanding piece of furniture.
Right.
So that if you are, entertaining, you've got people over, you're able to completely clear off all your surfaces. And actually what you just have then is a really, really beautiful, clean line, very sort of minimalistic, but without looking too kitcheny, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Really aim to create something luxurious and something that suits the space and suits the light in each apartment. So I think that's really important to consider when you're looking at kitchens, is you've got to look at something that suits the audience, but also that is right for the room. So we've got the nice sort of difference of the sort of the stone and the laminate here, so that actually the higher breakfast bar, it's great because it gives you seating, but it also hides sort of what would look traditionally kitchen. You've also got your induction hob there as well, and then the black piece behind it is a pop-up extractor.
Oh, amazing.
So gone are the days where you have an extractor hanging from the ceiling. I mean, but this one, it pops up and then you're able to just hide it away as well. And then loads and loads of storage. I don't know about you, but I hate it. In a lot of modern apartments, what you might get, 2.5 cupboards.
Yeah, something like
loads of storage. Got to have the storage to put all your bits and bobs away and hide everything away. We always try to work with sort of smaller local sort of businesses. So we've used a business based in Harborne, and they have got exclusivity over Rationale, which is a fantastic German brand of kitchen. So they have provided all of the units, and we've mixed up the different colours. So we've sort of got some dark sort of matte coloured cupboards in line with some more sort of silver oak effect, and then using a mixture of different surfaces as well. So you've got a mixture of the stone, the slimline worktops, and then the slightly fatter ones when you've got a breakfast bar.
I just love how it's like all compact, like even the microwave. I didn't even notice that before. It's just all like together.
Well, we've got a single oven. In our last development, we actually put 2 ovens in. Everything that you would expect, integrate as much of them as possible so that you get this nice, clean, sleek finish. If you're living in an open plan area where your kitchen is part of your living area, I really think that you want to be able to shut the kitchen away sometimes and make it this nice, clean space so that it doesn't then start to interfere and argue with the design that you might have in the rest of that space.
Now I'm here in one of the bedrooms, and this is also incredible. Of course, everything is incredible here. So there's a lovely bit of space before you get into the sort of main area of the bedroom where you could easily put some wardrobes and then have sort of a dressing table over here. So this could be like a small dressing room area, which I think is just amazing. It's also got an ensuite over here, which again has the sliding door, and I just love the finish in the bathroom. So I love everything from the matte black towel rails to the tiles that are used. It gives like a really nice marble effect. It's just amazing. Like, I wish I lived here, but never mind. Now I'm here in the main part of the bedroom, which is obviously very luxurious as well. So it's got 2 double sockets over here for either side of where the bed will go. And then it's also got sort of a socket up here and an aerial socket for a TV to go on the wall. So I love all the features in the bedroom, such as the radiators. I just really like the style of radiator. And then of course the amazing windows, and I could just imagine like sitting on the windowsill because it's just a cute little space.
So bedrooms, we tend to, in all of the developments that we do, in the master bedroom put a really lush carpet, and then we tend to put something slightly more hard-wearing in the other bedrooms. Just again, in case people are looking for investments, or in case somebody is an owner-occupier and they're renting out the 2nd or the 3rd bedroom, so that you've got a more hard-wearing carpet in there. Bedrooms will always have data points in there, so that you can put your satellite TV in there as well. They'll always have aerial points as well. We always tend to design them with the architects, so when we're doing the floor plans you can actually see how the room's been laid out, the best use of space. So we'll do things like we'll put plug sockets and lamp switches where we would envisage your bed going. Always try to do an ensuite for you, always try to do sort of some feature lights, but also a mixture of a pendant and overhead lights, because I have got a real personal hatred of a bedroom with lines and lines of LED lights, because it's like sleeping in an airport hangar.
So now we are in a apartment too, and I do love this one. And
Me too.
Please tell me more about the bricks because I'm obsessed.
Well, the bricks are gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah.
So this originally apartment finished where the brick wall is, and the townhouse, so the development is a 3-bed, 2 2-beds, a penthouse and a 2-bed townhouse. That is the top floor of the townhouse, or was. We did through the architects is that we worked into, actually we didn't want the townhouse to be that tall, so let's steal the room for this apartment. But we wanted to put some kind of texture, different textures is something that I've learned through doing this, and everybody loves brick. So that actually isn't original brick, that is a brick slip that has been applied to the wall afterwards, but you wouldn't know, would you?
No,
it looks absolutely beautiful, doesn't it? And I think what it does is this apartment again has got really high ceilings, it's got a lot of light coming in from the windows, and we've gone for the laminate flooring everywhere so it's hard wearing and it's easier to clean. But we didn't want it to be cold, we didn't want it to have a lot of like cold light reflecting surfaces, so the idea with the brick as well is that it brings warmth and it brings texture and it makes that space a bit cosier. And I'm the same as you, that's my favourite bit up there. I think I can imagine having your sitting room up there, sat in your big cosy sofa, you know, and then you've got this beautiful kitchen just sort of down the stairs. It's a really nice little feature that we've had in there.
Let's go and have a closer look at the mezzanine as well.
Okay, brilliant. It's been designed as a sitting room from the architects, and I think the great thing about this is that we have laid it out because, you know, the men in our world are obsessed, aren't they, with TVs. So we've laid it out so that in both areas of the end of the room you've got the ability to actually plug your TV in. So you could lay out, you know, nice big corner sofa here with your massive telly looking out on the windows, and then we've got the lovely skylights as well which bring in that natural light. Or if you wanted to, you could flip it round and you could sit facing that way. But I think what I like about this space as well, again, you've got the nice deep windowsills. So I kind of, in that really romantic fashion, see myself sat on a window, you know, looking out at the view, waiting for Romeo to come. But also, I think what's nice here is you could have a desk area, or you could have it laid out, you know, sort of with a nice big sideboard with some real cool, funky sort of sculptures and things on. It gives you that flexibility of space. And then also, I think the view down, it's such a lovely spot down into the apartment. It's such a huge space. It's way bigger than my sitting room.
Oh, I know. You build all these nice houses for people and then you go to your own and it's like, what?
Tell me about it.
So I love the WC that we've got in here. It actually has a sliding door, which is incredible, and obviously that saves space in the hallway as well. And then I just love the black walls. Like, I think that's a really nice feature. It's something that's quite different. You don't usually have a dark bathroom, so I just think that's absolutely amazing. I just love everything from the sort of the matte black taps and the sink details, and then the flooring is just also incredible. Okay, so now we're going to apartment 4, which is actually a 1-bed penthouse apartment, which is incredible. It might actually be my favourite one, just saying. I mean, this is just incredible. Like, I just love it. I mean, this is just literally incredible. I just love this penthouse. Like, I wish I could live here myself, but unfortunately I can't. I love the beams that they've got in this apartment. I think the beams make it look really unique and just completely different to the other ones. And I love that they've put the windows in up the top there, so you just get more natural light coming in. I just think it's such a nice touch. I just love this one. This one is definitely my favourite. This is like a proper footballer's pad. Like, I imagine a footballer would love to live here. Probably never be here, but I just imagine it as a footballer's place. So I love this kitchen as well. This is amazing. So just tell us more about the kitchen.
So again, similar to what we talked about before, is that it's been designed to look like a freestanding piece of furniture. And I think we really wanted to, this is an original brick wall at the back here. So we really wanted to actually keep that rather than plaster over it. We wanted to keep it, make it part of the feature. And again, you've got this really nice difference in that you've got the wood, you've got the stone, you've got the dark colour, you've got the breakfast bar, so it does hide slightly bits of it. But then you've got things like you've got the nice little, the pop-up here. I know, it's like something out of Star Trek, isn't it? So, you know, and that's the extractor that just takes away all your cooking waste, and when you're done with it, you just pop it back down. You know, all the drawers obviously have got soft close in them, insets as well for cutlery and cooking utensils, and it's about that really good finish. And again, we talked about the fact it's a rationale kitchen, and we did actually have a buyer who came round and said, "Oh, I'm really impressed you've got rationale. In Spain, they only use those in restaurants." So he saw that as a really big selling point.
Amazing.
I didn't know that, but I just love it up here. I kind of think it's this amazing entertaining space, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can imagine sort of people sitting on the sides here, can't you, having, you know, a gin and tonic or a glass of wine. You've got the music going, and you're totally and utterly private. I mean, I'm standing here looking at you, and all I can see is the BT Tower at the moment. This amazing sort of view of the very tops of a lot of the sort of the skyscrapers in Snow Hill, and you are so close, but yet you feel really private, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gorgeous.
Definitely.
Love it.
And I love the beams as well. I think that's like one of my favourite things. Yeah. So
you should have seen them before. Nice kind of like pine orange colour. Yeah, and we have lowered the floor in this apartment as well, so to try and get better head height throughout. But yeah, the beams were challenging because they were obviously they're original beams, so they needed some work in restoration.
Yeah.
They needed some extra steels putting in, you know, and everything like that. You know, they're completely safe.
Yeah.
And I think they're really stunning.
Yeah.
And also we've got the roof lantern in here as well, which is just a really nice feature. And that's got electric opening windows that you can put on a temperature. So even if you're away, you know, if you want them to open when it gets to a certain temperature and close, it can do that. You don't even have to be here.
I love it.
I know.
Just love it.
I know. It's like this automated apartment. Only if I can move in too.
Well, yeah.
Come and let's see the best bathroom in the whole development.
Fab, let's go.
Honestly, you won't be disappointed.
Oh wow.
I feel like I should do a little drum roll.
This is just incredible.
It's stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think bathrooms are really key. As many bathrooms as possible. I'm definitely all over having at least one bathroom for every single bedroom if possible.
It's all like the little details as well, like even the sink, about how it kind of like dips down, the freestanding bath, the tiles. It's just, it's just amazing. I am jealous. I just am jealous.
Yeah, me too.
It's just all like really well thought out, and like the towel rails. I think the towel rails are actually my favourite thing, like the matte black.
Goodness, really?
Yeah, I'm just obsessed. I don't know why. And I love how there's like different sort of patterns as well. So like the pattern on the floor to the cupboard to the tiles, it's all different.
Oh, the interior designers will be really impressed that you've picked it up. Is that extra thing?
Yeah.
It's that whole idea of having different tiles there, different texture to create a bit of warmth.
Yeah.
Because it's a big room. It's a really big room, isn't it?
Yeah, I really
As
like
you can hear from the echo.
I know. And I love the way, because I think if it was me, like personally, I'd just end up doing like the same tiles on the floor and the walls, but actually coming here and seeing this and how it's all different, I'm like, okay, this is inspiration.
Oh, that's good.
Totes Instagrammable.
We usually go with a really good quality sanitary ware, something like Duravit, something that again suits the styling of the apartment. So we would always look at who's our target market, what is the apartment, what's the area like, and we will develop a theme in line with the interior designers for that whole apartment, and the bathrooms will come as part of that. So again, in this development we've used Duravit, but what we've done is we've used a matte black tap in there, and that matches a matte black towel rail and ties in with sort of the features that we've got with that one. We also have these really beautiful white moulded stone basins on a matte black washstand. Just because it's a bathroom, it doesn't have to be boring, and I would really say that it's all about quality, it's all about quality of the fit, but it's about creating some personality in your bathrooms as well.
Okay, so now we're actually upstairs in the townhouse, and this is like way bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you come up to the top of the stairs and it's like, whoa, there's this really huge, lovely, light-filled, open living area. It's upside-down living in the townhouse, and a lot of that is to do with fire regulations and things like that. So we've actually got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a huge sort of hallway come study, come sort of entrance area that are below us, just over the 3 floors. But what I really like again about up here is it's so private. You know, and it's so quiet. You know, you're not looking out over anybody else's house, nobody else is looking into you. You've got a lovely big kitchen dining area over there. You know, it'd just be great because you can walk away, leave the mess, and then come and sit in your sitting area here. There's some really nice features in here. So, for example, as we're coming up the stairs, we've created a light well from the roof so that it brings light, natural light down into the lower levels of the house. So I think, again, if you want to live close to the city centre and, you know, you want to experience that kind of city centre living, but maybe you don't want to live in an apartment, then that's a challenge, because houses are usually further out, or houses are usually bigger, and houses come with, you know, external space that needs maintenance and everything else like this. This is, I think, it's more like a triplex apartment, but it's really a townhouse. It's got its own front door, but you still then have access to the underfloor, you know, the underground car parks. You've still got the same level of finish. You're still serviced like you would be as part of a blog, but without all the headache that comes with owning a house.
For sure.
So I just think it's a fab place here. It's great. Party house.
So I love this kitchen as well, but it is slightly different to the other one. So tell us sort of the changes you made in this kitchen.
I think what we were aware of here is that this kitchen doesn't have a window. It hasn't got as much natural light. So with the advice from the interior designers was that we would come up with something with a much lighter, more neutral palette that actually had more light reflecting. So obviously the colours we've gone for here are more of kind of sort of like a mushroomy sort of stone colour. I'm sure she'll shoot me for describing it like that. And then obviously the matte white. Again, we didn't want to go glossy because you'd think you go glossy to reflect the light, but apparently it's a little bit last year. So we've gone for the matte, and then obviously the lighter work surface as well. So you've got actually all of that light reflection here. But from an actual contents perspective, it's got exactly the same as everything else. So we've still got the induction hob, you've still got your microwave, you've still got your, you know, your oven, you've got your washer dryer in here, your dishwasher, your big fridge freezer, and still loads of storage, but it's just on a slightly lighter palette. And then I think as well with this room, it's large and well large enough to get a nice big sort of dining table in here as well. And then you can turn around and you can look at your lovely view, and you can hide from view, can't you? I think it's a really unusual space, but I think it will work really, really well as well.
And it does feel really private, because I know that, like, me living in the city centre, I often feel like my neighbours can literally look into my house. So here is just so like close. What
I like about this as well is that because you've got a bedroom on the floor below and then a bedroom on the floor below there, if you're young professional sharing, or if, for example, you've got kids staying or something like that, the noise is not going to affect people who want to go to sleep. And often I think that's a problem when you're in apartments or even in a house, because normally your bedrooms are above the noisy area, whereas here all the bedrooms are below, so you're going to be able to have a nice quiet night's sleep.
Amazing. So I really love this development. I just love how luxurious it is, and I wish that I could live here myself, but unfortunately I can't. I just love the small details, and I think they really make the difference. I just feel like everything's been thought about, and yeah, it's just incredible. I love the kitchens especially. I've got a really big thing for kitchens, and I really love the exposed brick features in the penthouse apartment, and then the brick slips in apartment 2 and 3. I really just love it. So why did you choose the gun quarter as an area in Birmingham?
It's weird, I don't think we really chose it, but I think that the development sort of found us, and I think that's what we often do, is that we look in areas around sort of Birmingham city centre that we know. So for example, we've done one in Edgbaston, and we've done one in the other side of Jewellery Quarter. But what I've found since we've been here that I really love is it's so close, and I don't think anybody's heard of the Gun Quarter. I certainly hadn't. But you are literally a 2-minute drive from the A38 and all of the different motorway networks. You can walk to Snow Hill, and I'm not talking speed walk, you can walk to Snow Hill in like 7 minutes. So you've obviously got access to the train station there, all of the big offices that are going to be going up over there, you know, access to shopping, and it's actually closer, the estate agents that I've timed, it's actually closer than St Paul's Square to actually getting to the city centre. So to the business side of the city centre. So I think as an area, it's not an area that people have really heard of, but it's definitely up and coming, and there's a huge development going on behind where we are as well. I think there's 300 apartments going up there. All of the lovely sort of Victorian houses where the pub used to be have all been renovated. So I really feel like in the next sort of few years, it's going to be really buzzing. There's going to be coffee shops, there's going to be, you know, little corner shops and restaurants and places to go, and then the people who have bought in this area are going to be like, yes. spot on. It's the best area in Birmingham, without a shadow of a doubt.
James Laurence are an independent estate agent, and I think it's really great to support your local businesses, and they tend to also have the more sort of boutique and luxurious apartments or houses, I would say. Why did you choose James Laurence Estate Agents to market your property?
Previously on our other developments, we had worked with a small independent firm of estate agents who actually were then amalgamated into a larger firm. The reason that we picked James Laurence for this development was that they really, really get the area, and we've sort of talked about before that not many people have heard of the Gun Quarter, and I really feel that with something like we're doing, where it's a really different product. It's not just something that you can sell overseas and that you can sell out of a brochure or online. It really needs people to understand the building and how it's been synthetically developed, but also understand the area and have contacts and buyers that know and trust them. It's back to that whole marketing thing, isn't it? And know, love and trust them. We've got a really great product. They've got a really good base of buyers, of people who trust them. So you put the two of them together and they can reach out and bring people to the development, and then obviously we're marketing through the usual routes on Rightmove and for sale signs and having open events and just general sort of communication around to businesses. But I've been really impressed. Really impressed. They really seem very knowledgeable, and it's very personal, and that's really important for us because this is our business. We kind of put our heart and soul into what we do, so I want somebody who's selling it on our behalf to actually get over that real love that's gone into it as well.
Love of it as much as you guys.
Totally.
So how long did the whole development take?
Longer than we would hope for. I think every developer says that, don't they? The actual build part, so we used a main contractor on this, and the actual build part was pretty much spot on. 6-8 months, something like that, from start to finish. But that's because it's an empty building, it's a big building, so you could fill it with trades and get cracking. The bit before that took a really long time. Like I said to you before, we always work with a sort of a team of professionals. So, we sort of have architects, we have M&E, we have structural engineers, we've got interior designers, we've got pretty much every single trade that you can think of, and all of that is put together, and we come up with sort of a spec really before we start, so we can hand that over to the contractor and say, this is what we want to do in the apartments, this is every single detail thought through. So that bit takes time in itself, but then you add to the complication of it's a commercial conversion, it's grade 2 listed, it's in an area that hasn't had a lot of residential development. So from a planning perspective, that was quite long, it was quite drawn out, but it was worth it in the end.
You've got this amazing development.
So you've just got to stick with it, you've just got to keep going and stick with it, but we're quite particular, and we all do other things as well, so we're not necessarily the quickest in turning things round, but you've got to make it work for you.
So guys, that was the end of the tour. I hope you enjoyed this amazing development, and thank you very much for coming on my channel. Really appreciate it. So I'll leave links in the description bar below to all of the different properties and to Victoria's Instagram and things like that, so you can check it all out. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.